Power does not reside in loud commands or open threats. The true sovereign is the one who bends wills in silence, who whispers suggestions that echo as others' ideas. To manipulate without being detected is not merely a tactic. It is an art, a form of warfare conducted in shadows and smiles. In this forbidden study, we reveal the silent tools of domination, the principles that govern hearts without force, shape minds without suspicion, and lead others without ever seeming to lead. The world does not hunger for truth. It hungers for spectacle. Men judge with their eyes, not with their minds. They are drawn not to what is, but to what seems to be. This is the first law of manipulation. The mask is more powerful than the face beneath it. To rule hearts, to move people without resistance, one must perfect the appearance of virtue while discarding the burden of living by it. Most people cannot distinguish between honesty and performance. They crave symbols, kindness in your voice, restraint in your actions, loyalty in your speech. Show them these and they will kneel. They do not see that these gestures may be carefully measured, that behind performance is strategy, calculation, a mind unclouded by the sentimental fog that enslaves lesser men. If you wish to influence without suspicion, you must learn this. Virtue is your camouflage, not your compass. There is no merit in being good for goodness' sake. The lion that shows mercy starves, but the fox who pretends to limp draws in the prey. Likewise, the one who cloaks ambition in modesty, who veils his power in humility, moves with deadly freedom. Your enemy will not strike a man who smiles. He will not defend against one who praises him. And the masses, simple as they are, will protect the one who flatters their illusions. A wise manipulator does not rage, threaten, or boast. He acts as though he serves, even while he commands. He speaks of justice while he sharpens his knife. He donates to the temple while securing his betrayal. Let others speak of morals. You will wield them like tools, hollow idols that give you permission to act without scrutiny. You must understand the deep hunger people have to believe. They want to believe that their leader is good, their lover is loyal, their priest is holy. Give them what they want. Feed their illusions, and they will never question your intentions. Show restraint in public, generosity in small things, a temperance in your pleasures. And behind that veil, you may rearrange the kingdom, destroy rivals, and secure absolute obedience. Never confess your true desires. If you seek dominance, speak of duty. If you seek wealth, speak of service. If you seek control, speak of order and safety. Wrap the dagger in silk. When the time comes to strike, they will not even realize they have bled until their strength is gone, and their will is yours. But do not forget, this art requires precision. A mask worn too tightly begins to crack. You must occasionally perform acts of visible kindness, of believable sacrifice. Let your virtues be theatrical, well-timed, and seen by the right audience. One moment of cruelty done in private can be fatal. But 100 sins committed behind a smile and under the name of honor will be forgiven, if not applauded. Thus, the manipulator does not conquer with force. He conquers with perception. He does not dominate with fear alone, but with the admiration of those too blind to see him clearly. And when the people sing his praises, they do not know they are praising their own chains. They believe they are free because he has told them so. And what is more powerful than a lie, when everyone agrees to call it the truth? It is not the sword that conquers the masses. It is a story. The battle for power is not fought on the field, but in the minds of men. If you wish to manipulate without being detected, learn this above all. Truth is irrelevant. What matters is what people believe to be true. And belief is born not from fact, but from controlled information. The common man does not investigate. He accepts. He does not question the source. He questions whether it flatters his desire to believe. Therefore, control the tale, and you control the man. Master this, and you will never need to raise your voice, for perception will do your bidding in silence. Every movement, every word, every silence must serve a narrative. What others think you are is far more valuable than what you actually are. Be ruthless in shaping that illusion. Do not leave your reputation to chance. Curate it. Sculpt it like a statue, polished with praise, lit with rumors, shadowed by mystery. Say little, but let others speak much. Whisper enough into the right ears and watch entire rooms shift before you ever enter them. Let your name travel ahead of you, armored in virtues you may not possess. If you are thought of as wise, men will listen. If you are thought of as loyal, they will lower their guard. And if you are thought of as incapable of harm, you will be free to cause it without suspicion. But you must never allow the full truth to be known, even by your closest allies, especially by them. The more someone knows, the less they can be moved. Certainty is a wall. Ambiguity is a door. The manipulator never lies outright. He speaks in half-truths and suggestions in silence that allows others to fill in the rest. They will create their own version of you. And if guided correctly, they will cling to it even in the face of contradiction. For once a man chooses to believe something, he defends it not for your sake, but for his pride. He does not protect you. He protects the illusion he is tied to his own identity. This is why you must never reveal too much. Oversharing is the currency of the weak. He who exposes all becomes predictable, and what is predictable can be countered. Keep them guessing. Always. Let them think they understand your motives, while your true designs move in silence. Allow them a glimpse of what you want them to see, and they will assume the rest. In this way, you guide not by force, but by suggestion. You shape their conclusions, not their choices, and so they believe themselves free. Plant doubts when needed. Praise your enemies in public, while undermining them in private. When rumors circulate, do not deny them too quickly. It is better to let whispers linger than to draw attention by protest. Silence in the right moment speaks louder than 1,000 declarations. And if a lie must be told, make it beautiful. Make it something they want to believe. Truth, after all, is often inconvenient. Lies are crafted to comfort. Be seen with the right people. Say the right words in passing. Offer a smile at the right time. Never let them see your calculations. Let the chaos of the world serve as your cover. And while others chase clarity, you must dwell in subtlety. It is there in the quiet manipulation of minds that true power lies, not in being obeyed, but in being believed. For a man who is feared may be resisted, but a man who is admired and misunderstood may rule for years, without lifting a single blade. The most skillful manipulator does not stain his hands with the deed. He finds another hand willing to do it. And if that hand belongs to someone ambitious, naive, or indebted, all the better. The art of influence lies not in how many commands you give, but in how many are followed without your name ever spoken. The most dangerous man in the room is not the one shouting orders. It is the one who whispers suggestions and lets others carry the consequences. People are drawn to power but repelled by cruelty. They want strong leaders, but not tyrants. If you act directly, you risk exposure. You become the target of resentment, the face that carries the burden of every harsh decision. But if another enacts your will, if another voice speaks your command, if another hand signs a decree, you remain untouchable. Let them burn while you remain the candle's glow. Let them rot while your name smells of roses. There are always men eager for recognition, for status, for favor. Use them. Elevate them slightly, just enough that they feel honored, seen, indebted. Make them believe their rise is due to their merit, but ensure it is only possible through you. Then place the burden in their lap. Suggest what should be done. Let them think it was their own conclusion. When the decision is met with applause, offer them praise. When it brings ruin, offer them distance. Nothing secures your position like a scapegoat dressed in velvet. He believes he is powerful, but he is only useful. And when the time comes, he will fall quietly, taking all blame with him, while you remain above, serene, blameless, and prepare with the next candidate already waiting. Never act out of anger or impulse. Let others do so. Let them become emotional, reckless, easily manipulated by pride or envy. You remain the calm eye in the storm, the architect behind the curtain. Suggest vengeance if needed, but do not deliver it yourself. Whisper into the ears of those already wounded. Offer them a target. Let them strike with all the fury you concealed. When blood is spilled, you are nowhere near the blade. And remember, the one who acts becomes visible. He becomes vulnerable. Every act creates a pattern, a motive, a chain of suspicion. But when others act in your place, you remain formless. Your intentions are scattered, obscured by the noise of another's ambition. This is why true power never seeks the spotlight. It lives in the shadow of useful men. Do not merely use strangers. Use friends. Use those who believe in you. Their loyalty makes them blind. And the loyal, when led carefully, will justify anything on your behalf. They will punish your enemies, silence your rivals, defend your name with words you taught them to say. And if they are questioned, they will believe they acted of their own will. The greatest manipulation is not coercion. It is devotion. Be generous with your praise, selective with your trust, and always leave others convinced that the plan was theirs. Let them think they are your equal. Let them dream of ruling beside you, but always keep them dependent, divided, and replaceable. Do not bind them with chains. Bind them with favor or opportunity, and fear of being cast out. When the storm passes, when the damage is done, you will emerge untouched. The kingdom will mourn the fallen, curse the misguided, and look to you for guidance. Never knowing the chaos they flee from was born in your mind, delivered by another's hand. That is the essence of mastery, to orchestrate events so skillfully that when the play ends, they applaud you. Unaware you wrote every line. Influence begins not with action, but with observation. The wise manipulator studies people as a physician studies disease, as a general studies terrain. You must come and know their inner workings better than they know themselves. For only through deep knowledge of their weaknesses, their hidden wounds, secret desires, and silent fears, can you ever hope to shape their decisions without lifting a visible finger. Most men are not as complicated as they appear. Peel away their titles, their performances, their borrowed morality, and you'll find the same soft underbelly. The need to feel seen, valued, secure. Some hunger for recognition. Others tremble at rejection. Some will do anything to be liked. Others will destroy themselves to avoid shame. These are not flaws to pity. They are instruments to be played. And he who plays them with precision can conduct entire lives from behind the curtain. You must never assume that what motivates you motivates others. Each man is ruled by his own ghost. One may tremble at the thought of dishonor, while another smiles at betrayal, but weeps over being forgotten. One will sell his soul to feel superior to his brother. Another will kneel simply to avoid conflict. It is your task to identify these fractures. Watch how they react when ignored, how they bristle when contradicted, how they swell when praised. Every flinch is a message. Every overreaction is a map. And every silence hides a truth. Do not ask direct questions. The clever do not confess. Instead, speak of others and watch how they judge. Praise one man's ambition and see if they frown. Mention a trait they secretly lack and see if they pretend to possess it. Suggest a fear and watch their body betray them. Their eyes will reveal what their mouths do not. Most men are desperate to be known, even if they pretend otherwise. If you give them enough space, they will hand you the very blade you'll later use to bind them. Once their weaknesses are known, you must never address them directly. That would trigger resistance. Instead, design your words to pass through their defenses. The man who longs for approval must never be told he is weak. He must be offered opportunities to prove himself. The one who fears abandonment should not be threatened. He should be given glimpses of distance, just enough to make him chase. You do not coerce. You orchestrate. You do not dominate. You align your needs with the architecture of their insecurity. There is power in never revealing how much you know. Let them walk freely, thinking themselves untouched, while you guide them through doors they believe they opened. When they stumble, offer comfort. When they succeed, applaud. In their mind, you become not the cause of their manipulation, but the ally of their journey. They will come to trust you, even love you, never realizing that their affection is merely another symptom of their control. And above all, do not grow sentimental. Understanding a man's pain does not require you to soothe it. You are not there to heal. You are there to use. Compassion is a virtue reserved for those who are not playing to win. You are not one of them. To influence without being detected, you must remain dispassionate in your analysis. Love no one too deeply. Attach to no one's fate, but your own. The moment you feel what they feel, your advantage vanishes. You become like them, ruled by unseen forces, shaped by unseen wounds. Remain the surgeon, cold, precise, patient. Cut away the surface until the core is revealed. Then, and only then, may you proceed to shape their destiny. Not with force, not with plea, but with a delicate pressure applied exactly where it hurts most. That is not cruelty. It is mastery. It is a common error of the ambitious to believe that power must roar, that be obeyed, one must be loud, forceful, feared in the open. But fear fades. Strength invites challengers. The manipulator who survives, who endures, is not the one who crushes resistance, but the one who makes resistance seem unnecessary. If you seek to move unseen, to bend wills without resistance, abandon the lion. Become the fox. To be cunning is not to lie. It is to reveal only what must be known, to move with the wind, and to strike in silence. The fox does not announce his presence. He watches. He waits. He learns the habits of others until they are predictable. And once they are predictable, they are controllable. The man who understands behavior better than others understands destiny. For most are governed not by choice, but by habit, emotion, and desire. And if you can predict a man, you can play him. Let the fools boast of strength. Let them chase recognition, raise their voices, bare their teeth. Their need to be seen is their leash. The world watches them, suspects them, prepares for them. You, meanwhile, move in shadows. Smile when you wish to strike. Compliment when you mean to dismantle. Give freely what costs you nothing, so that what you desire may be taken without alarm. Cunning requires patience. The lion acts at the first insult. The fox remembers. He smiles, nods, and stores the wound like a tool. And when the moment arrives, when the prey is unguarded, distracted, or indebted, he makes his move, not with fury, but with precision. The lion forces submission. The fox makes others volunteer their obedience. The key to the strategy is never appearing threatening. A man fears the one who confronts him, but trusts the one who flatters him. Even your enemies can be your allies if they believe you harmless. Feed their ego. Let them speak more than you. Let them believe themselves superior. In their pride, they will lower their guard. And when they do, their power is yours to inherit. If you are ever forced to act with strength, do so rarely, and only when the benefit is absolute. Let others remember you as capable, not dangerous. Danger invites preemptive attack. Capability invites reliance. The fox survives not because he is stronger, but because he is underestimated. And nothing offers more freedom than being dismissed by those who believe themselves safe. Cunning is also silence. Never reveal your full plan. Let each action seem isolated. Let no one connect the threads until it is too late. Keep your intentions like a maze, visible enough to appear navigable, but leading nowhere clear. Mystery is a shield. Men do not attack what they do not understand. They hesitate, and in hesitation lies your victory. The fox also masters the art of alliance. Not every ally is a friend. Some are stepping stones. Some are mirrors for your virtue. Some are shields for your ambition. Let them think they need you. Give them pieces of what they crave. So long as they depend on you, they will never betray you. Not out of loyalty, but out of fear of losing access to what only you provide. And when you win, and you will win, let others believe it was luck or the result of their own wisdom. The fox does not seek credit. He seeks continuity. He does not seek applause. He seeks control. The lion may rule the forest for a season, but the fox outlives him, inheriting the silence he leaves behind. In the game of unseen manipulation, strength is spectacle, but cunning, that is survival. Men will fight chains they can see, but they will bow to the ones they believe they've chosen. This is the highest refinement of manipulation, not in forcing another's hand, but in guiding it so subtly that he believes the decision was his all along. The true master of influence does not bark orders or issue commands. He lays out a path of options, all seemingly independent, but each leading precisely where he intends. When a man believes he is chosen, he defends his path with pride. He will argue for it, bleed for it, even die for it, because to him, it was not submission, it was self-determination. He does not see the invisible architecture of your design. The narrowing corridors of suggestion, the prearranged triggers, the planted consequences. He sees only his will and believes it's sovereign. There is no deeper loyalty than the loyalty born of freedom, and no stronger prison than one locked from the inside. To create this illusion, speak little, but observe much. Offer options at different appearance, not in destination. When you wish a man to act, present the decision as though it were born from his own needs. Wrap your desire in the language of his interest. Let him see advantage. Let him sense empowerment, and he will walk the path you have built as though it were the only road on earth. He will praise your wisdom, not knowing it was never his to begin with. Give them choice, but limit the frame. A man given 2 doors will forget there was once a hallway. He will focus so intensely on the difference between what he can choose that he will not question why these were the only choices presented. This is how you eliminate resistance without confrontation. This is how you move people as easily as water moves downhill, by shaping the terrain. Even opposition can be shaped this way. Let them protest what you have already discarded. Let them demand what you intended to give. In this way, you become both the problem and the solution. You offer relief from a fire you quietly lit. They cheer as if liberated, never realizing they applauded your foresight, not their own victory. Give your enemies a target slightly to the left of your intention, and while they waste arrows on shadows, your real agenda will move forward unchallenged. This method also preserves your innocence. No man can blame you for his own choice. You were merely generous. You provided alternatives. You gave him freedom. If his path ends in ruin, it was his feet that walked it. And if it leads to success, he will thank you with loyalty, believing you merely supported his brilliance. Both outcomes are yours to own, one in silence, the other in celebration. But this craft demands discipline. You must restrain your urge to direct. You must let go of the need to be credited, seen, understood. The moment you appear control, you invite rebellion. But if you disappear behind a curtain of choice, you'll be accepted not as a ruler, but as a guide. The shepherd leads by walking in front of the flock, but the true master walks behind, letting the sheep believe they found the path themselves. Thus, the greatest manipulator is not the loudest voice in the room, but the quiet architect of belief. He does not coerce. He suggests. He does not demand. He frames. And those who follow him will never realize they were led, only that they arrive where they were always meant to be, by their own free will. So they will say, so they will swear, and so they will never turn back. I once wrote, for there is no safety in half measures. But the highest form of conquest is not annihilation. It is quiet ownership of the mind. Why waste blood when belief can be molded? Why burn bridges when you can lead others across them into your grasp? To manipulate without being detected is to become the unseen hand behind the throne, the architect of decisions you never appear to influence. It is to speak little, yet be heard everywhere. To act through others while your own name remains untainted. It is to wrap your ambition in virtue, your control in compassion, your dominance in freedom. You must never seek to be feared for your power, but to be loved for the illusion that you have none. You must understand the anatomy of weakness, the hunger behind every mask, the quiet desperation in every boast. And once you see what others do not, once you master the movement of perception, the weapon of suggestion, and the seduction of false choice, you will no longer need to rule by force. They will crown you willingly, call you savior, even as they walk a path of your design. This is the forbidden mind. Not loud, not violent, but absolute. The fox watches, smiles, and lets the lion draw all attention. And when the dust settles, when power is spent and glory fades, it is the fox who inherits the kingdom, not through conquest, but through control.